It was only 7:30 the next morning as Shane walked along the empty corridors of Maple Hitch High School. In the silence, his mind wandered to thoughts of Amber. Truthfully, he hadn't stopped thinking about her. There was something so different and alluring about Amber. It was as if she was drawing him in and refusing to let go. "Amber," Shane said in shock as he turned a corner and almost collided with her. Amber looked startled to see another student in the school. "What are you doing here?" she demanded. "Drew's getting his wisdom teeth pulled today, so I'm collecting his homework before class," Shane explained. He suddenly looked at Amber's top with wide eyes. "You're not allowed to wear that in school," he warned her. Amber looked down at her baby blue tank top, which read, "School Stinks," in white, sparkly lettering. "What's wrong with my top?" "Nothing," Shane replied quickly. "It's just that tank tops aren't allowed to be worn on school property." "Would it offend the school if I wore the tank top on my head?" Amber asked with a loud laugh. "I really couldn't care less about school rules." "Okay," Shane replied, not sure what else to say. "So, do you like Maple Hitch High School so far?" Amber had just opened her mouth to reply when someone interrupted her. "Are you Amber Cook?" a tall boy with dark brown hair asked. Oh no, Shane thought upon seeing Mr. Ingles' son, Lance. This can't be good. "Who wants to know?" Amber shot back. "I want to know," Lance sneered. "You must be Amber. Your attitude gives you away." "In the flesh," Amber admitted, raising her hands in the air as if her presence was a blessing. "My dad was right. You are a cocky narcissist. And your father would be," Amber said, placing her hands on her hips, "Mr. Ingles." Amber looked seriously at Lance for a moment and then laughed. "Sorry." "Although that wasn't a very convincing apology, I'll accept it," Lance offered. "But I want you to apologize to my father in front of the whole class today." "You've misunderstood me," Amber replied with a high-pitched laugh. "I meant I'm sorry Mr. Ingles is your father. He can't stand anyone telling him that he's wrong. It must be hard for you to live with someone like that." Shane watched as Lance's face went bright red. Lance inherited his father's inability to hide emotions, he thought. "What did you just say?" Lance bellowed. "You heard me," Amber scolded, obviously not fazed by Lance's powerful voice. "I don't hit girls, but I'll make an exception for you," Lance seethed. You'll get expelled if you hit someone on school property," Shane pointed out in a shaky voice, trying to save Amber from Lance's wrath. Amber let out a high-pitched laugh before Lance could say anything. "Well, then we'll have to go outside," she offered. Shane couldn't believe his ears. All the students in Maple Hitch High School were afraid of Lance. "You actually want to fight me?" Lance asked, also looking surprised. "Sure, why not? We have half an hour before class begins." "Let's go," Lance said, storming down the hallway. "Coming, honey," Amber called mockingly. "Wait!" Shane cried, grabbing Amber's arm. He was shocked to feel how cold it was. However, he had more important things to worry about than Amber's temperature. He was more concerned about her mere survival. "You can't fight Lance. He'll kill you." Amber rolled her eyes. "I'd laugh if I wasn't so bored." "Why don't you understand?" "I understand just fine." "Do you want to watch me wipe the pavement with Lance's face?" "No!" Shane gasped. "You scare me when you talk like this." "Don't worry. We're friends, and I'd never hurt you. Now come on. It's not polite to keep Lance waiting." Shane followed Amber outside and then off the school's property. Normally, he'd never encourage a fight by watching it. However, Amber's high level of self-confidence made him extremely curious. "It's customary to shake hands before fighting," Amber told Lance as she offered her hand to him. "We wouldn't want to forget our etiquette, would we?" Lance's expression seemed to change as he shook Amber's hand. He looked as if he'd just been stunned. At lightning speed, Amber took her hand away from Lance's and then placed it on his shoulder. With the strength of only one hand, she shoved Lance backwards. He slammed against a tree with a sickening thud. Either you apologize to me, or I'll start playing really rough, Amber threatened in a stone-cold voice. Lance's eyes were wild with fear. Okay, I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me. That's better, Amber said. Lance cast Amber a horrified look and then, stumbling slightly, ran back to the school. See? Amber said confidently, turning towards Shane and wiping her hands. I won, without even hurting him. I don't know about that, Shane confessed, still amazed by Amber's super strength. I think you permanently bruised Lance's ego. Amber shrugged as if she didn't care. Ooh, why don't we go get Drew's homework together? She asked before linking arms with Shane. Shane said nothing as Amber dragged him around every one of Drew's classes. Soon they had collected all his homework. Poor Drew, Shane said while looking at the homework. There must be 100 pages here. Excuse me, young lady, someone suddenly called. Shane looked up to see Maple Hitch High's principal, Mr. Cannon, hurrying towards them. Yeah, Amber replied while looking at the principal. Can I help you with something? Mr. Cannon looked shocked by Amber's words. Yes, he replied in a stern voice. I'm afraid that tank tops are banned from our school. You must change immediately. I don't have another top, Amber told the principal. Oh, do you want to get ice cream after school? She asked, turning to Shane and ignoring Mr. Cannon in the process. I think Mr. Cannon is still talking to you, Shane stuttered, completely bewildered by Amber's behavior. Oh, are you still here? She asked, turning around to face Mr. Cannon once again. I told you I don't have another top. Mr. Cannon placed his thumb and index finger on his forehead as if he had a bad headache. I'm presuming you're new since I haven't seen you before. However, you can't act in such a disrespectful manner. You attend Maple Hitch High School now, and you have to abide by our rules. I'm not going to follow stupid rules, Amber shot back. Excuse me? Mr. Cannon said in shock. Leave me alone, I'm talking to my friend. No, you are not. You are coming with me. The principal pointed down the hallway. Follow me. Amber rolled her eyes but followed Mr. Cannon anyway. I'll see you in class, she called back to Shane. She's nuts, Shane said out loud as he watched them walk away. She's completely nuts.